I am going live. It just says going live. You're live. Okay. Okay, everybody. I don't know whether you missed the very, very beginning of this stream. It says, Angel Baby, we are waiting. Dave says, I've just messaged him. So if somebody can tell me on the chat that I am now live, and we can start again. Dave says, here we go. Priscilla L is in the building. Danielle says, hello, Steve. Hey, Steve, what happened there? I don't know. I was just talking to myself. So, welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. We have so much to get through this week. I know I've paused the Wednesday shows, but you can't get rid of me that easy. I will be here every Sunday, God willing. Everybody's saying hi, live, and all this and all that. I don't know. It must have just been a glitch. Anyway, as I say, welcome to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel. We have Fan of the Month quiz, a big Elvis giveaway. And let me just show you. I will open up the phone lines later, and that is what you can win. Feast your eyes on that. Feast your eyes on that lovely, beautiful Elvis canvas. Okay, so we've also got This Day in Elvis History, Elvis Photo and Song of the Week, the poll result, of course. Before we go any further, actually, I don't actually see Dan O'Malley's name yet on the chat, but I can tell you that me and Dave, who actually he gave the prize, he donated the prize, the lovely book and the postcard and a few other Easter eggs and so forth. Dan received his prize for being Fan of the Month for December. So I hope you're enjoying that, Dan, and I just wanted to get that out. So I'll be opening the lines later and let you know how you can be in with a chance to win that beautiful Elvis canvas. But the first thing I want to cover is Elvis's 16th movie, Roustabout. Roustabout is a 1964 musical feature film starring Elvis as a singer who takes a job working with a struggling carnival. It was filmed in Techniscope at Paramount Studios, with location for carnival sequences shot at Thousand Oaks, California. Filming began in March of 1964. So let's go through this. We've got Elvis as Charlie Rogers, Barbara Stanwyck, lovely Barbara Stanwyck, as Maggie Morgan. Then we've got Joan Freeman as Kathy Lean. And then we have Leif Erikson as Jolene. We've got Sue Ann Langdon as a fortune teller. Uncredited actors, Terry Garr as a college girl. Garr can also be seen as a backup dancer during some several musical numbers as well. Terry Garr. And we also have Richard Keel as Strongman. Keel is better known for playing Jules in the James Bond movies, The Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker. Raquel Welch as a college girl in the opening scenes where Elvis sings Poison Ivy League. And then we've got Red West as well as a carnival worker. And also look out for Sonny West, Alan Fortas, Richard Davis during the scenes when Elvis sings It's Carnival Time. Okay, next time you watch it, just look out for those. So musician Charlie Rogers is fired from a job at a tea house after brawling with several college students in the parking lot. After a night in jail, Charlie hits the road on his Honda 305 Superhawk motorcycle. He spots Kathy Lean driving with her father Joe and their employer Maggie Morgan. When Charlie tries to become friendly with Kathy, Joe forces him off the road and the bike is wrecked after crashing into a wooden fence. Maggie offers him a place to stay with a job while with the struggling carnival while the bike is being repaired. Charlie becomes a carny, a roustabout during that time. Maggie recognizes his musical talents and promotes him to feature attraction. His act soon draws large crowds. Off stage, Charlie romances Kathy, which creates animosity with Joe. After the two men repeatedly clash and Charlie is accused of holding back a customer's lost wallet that Joe was accused of stealing, Charlie leaves to star in a much better finance show of rival carnival producer Harry Carver. Once again, he is a great success. However, when Charlie learns that Maggie is facing bankruptcy, he returns to her carnival. In the musical final, he is happily reunited with Kathy. So that's just a kind of a resume of the plot. Reception. Roustabout reached number 8 nationally at the box office in 1964, based on Variety's survey. The film finished as number 28 on the year-end list of the top-grossing movies in 1964 and earned $3 million at the box office. The New York Times writer Howard Thompson complained that little in the way of dramatic substance and that the movie wasn't nearly so trim a package as Fun in Acapulco or Viva Las Vegas, but noted that Elvis was perfectly cast and surprisingly convincing in his role. The Monthly Film Bulletin wrote, Elvis vehicles have sadly deteriorated since the days of Follow That Dream, and his amiable but uninspiring piece does nothing to halt the process, despite curiosity value provided by Barbara Stanwyck, back with Paramount for the first time in 10 years. Recording sessions took place at Radio Recorders in Hollywood, California on March 2nd, 3rd and April 29th, 1964. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard's top LP chart. It was certified gold on May the 20th, 1988 by the RIAA. The album would be Elvis's final soundtrack to reach number 1 and his last number 1 album until 1973, Aloha from Hawaii. Let's show some slides while we're talking. Otis Blackwell and Winfield Scott submitted a candidate for the title track called I'm a Roustabout, recorded on March the 3rd, only to find it substituted by a song from a different team of writers, Bernie Baum, Bill Giant and Florence Kay. And that's the one, obviously, that appeared on the album, just called A Roustabout. I'm a Roustabout. Okay, the recording was eventually released by RCA on the 2003 compilation Second to None, and it was an acetate only. It wasn't from a tape source, it was from an acetate. So there was, in 2003, there was actually, in the Elvis world, there was quite a bit of excitement to find that this final had finally been released, if only just on a, there'd been rumors for years and years and years that there was another version of Roustabout called I'm a Roustabout, and it was proved to be true in 2003. I'm actually going to drop a link below this video after I've finished of I'm a Roustabout for anybody that hasn't heard it. I'm sure most of you have heard it, but just in case, I'll drop a link as well with the song of the week as well. I actually think that Roustabout is quite a good movie. There's the sequence when he's singing It's a Wonderful World, and him and Kathy, Joan Freeman, are on the Ferris wheel, and they could have just put Elvis in the studio with a green screen behind him or a process shot behind him, back projection, and just shot it like that. But instead they did it on the Thousand Oaks lot, and it was a tracking shot, and the camera had to keep them in the middle of the frame the whole time. So, a lot of effort was put into this movie. Elvis did some of his own stunts as well. That's how actually he got to cut his eye, and they had to have sort of write it into the script that I don't see who this is calling. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hey, Steve, it's Morgan.
Hey, welcome back, Morgan. We missed you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've just been busy lately, but I wanted to call in and talk about Roustabout.
Yeah, you talk away.
So my favorite song from it is definitely Roustabout, but my second favorite is Little Egypt. I like Little Egypt a lot.
Okay.
I like the style of it and like I just really like the style of it and how it goes.
Okay, and what do you like about the actual film itself, the movie, the whole movie?
I think the plot's really good. I mean, I remember watching all the Elvis movies with my dad when I was younger, and obviously Jailhouse Rock and Viva Las Vegas were like the big ones, but like Roustabout I always loved because it was just I love seeing Elvis ride the motorcycle. That was awesome to me because and I know that's something he liked doing, in real life, and I like watching the carnival scene and seeing Elvis in that kind of carnival scene is cool.
Yeah, he carried it off very well, didn't he? He was very charismatic, even when he was
Yeah,
doing the it's carnival time and all that, and he was going through and sort of doing all these different things and taking the fella's money and all this and all that. He was quite charismatic in the role, I think.
yeah, he definitely the role was made for him for sure
Mm.
because just how he played it was it's hard to think of someone else playing that because his energy just fits the kind of vibe they were going for with that movie.
He did a number of stunts, his own stunts in the movie, and he actually got injured. He injured his eye, didn't he? And they sort of wrote that into the script when he was pushed off the road by Leif Erikson. They sort of, made it out that he'd cut his eyebrow on the fence when he went through, so they could sort of put a plaster on it for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I think they just kind of had to write that in because they didn't want to have to
Stop filming.
cost more for production and have to worry about, it looking weird in the next shot.
Mm, yeah. I'd say that probably put an
So,
end to him doing his own stunts after that movie.
yeah, for sure. If I would have got injured, I would not have wanted to do my own stunts after that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Although I'm sure Elvis enjoyed doing them. He was throwing himself quite well into this movie, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I think he enjoyed it because obviously he loved karate and stuff, so
Mm.
there was definitely a lot of physical stuff with that. So, I'm sure he was used to getting hurt and doing that kind of stuff, but, you know, when you want Elvis in a movie, you don't want him to look like he got beat up unless that's in the movie.
No.
So
Well, he's the hero.
they just
He's the hero in all of the movies, without a doubt.
yeah, I mean it's always, most of it it's usually sometimes like something happens that goes wrong or he's a criminal like in Jailhouse Rock, they don't,
Mm.
and then he becomes the hero and the singing and obviously sure there's some bad songs, but usually there's at least one good song in the soundtrack and Roustabout there's a few that I like listening to.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for calling in. As always, it's a great pleasure to speak to you. And because you've phoned in, okay, you are in the hat to be in with a chance to win this great, beautiful Elvis canvas.
Oh yeah, I saw that on the community. That looks awesome.
Yeah, it
So
is.
whoever that goes to, they're a lucky winner because that painting is definitely beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Alrighty.
All right, I'll talk to you later,
Yeah,
Steve.
talk to you again. Bye bye.
All right, bye.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah. He did his own stunts, and it was notable for something else as well, and it was notable for a very, very early appearance of this lady. Okay, we'll take this call first. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi Steve, it's Mark.
Hiya,
How you doing?
Mark. How are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. You?
So, what do you think of Roustabout?
Roustabout is one of my favourite Elvis 60s movies.
Yeah.
Always remember watching this when I was a little lad. It was always on the TV. Love the soundtrack album. Every song to me is a great song. I just think it's a happy album. Hard Knocks, Poison Ivy. Big Love, Big Heartache. Great songs. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Really good film. Really enjoyed
I
it.
particularly like the "It's a Wonderful World" sequence because,
Yeah.
like I say, I pointed out it's actually a very, very complicated tracking shot. They could have just, as I say, did it in the studio when they got back to Paramount, but they decided to do it on the lot of Thousand Oaks, and I think it's quite good for 1964.
It is, yeah. Again, I think what makes the film and what makes Elvis bounce off the film, he's surrounded by some good actors, isn't he?
Yeah, Leif Erikson, Barbara Stanwyck.
Yeah. So I heard a rumour he didn't get on too well with Barbara Stanwyck. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But there's plenty of photographs of them. There's even one with them in their director chairs, and he's holding her hand, and they're both laughing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just, I suppose again, it was probably for her. It was more coming towards her end of her kind of career when Elvis was blooming, I suppose. You know? But a great film. I really enjoyed it. I think, you know, as I said to you, I always think going up to 1964 is the pickable of the films. I wish Elvis then probably would have got out of it and, you know, maybe got back to some of the better type films, or maybe toured or he'd done something. But I just think as it got to 65, 66, you could tell, you know, they were starting to get a bit of a slide.
Yeah, well, I think he signed a whole load of more contracts in 1964, taking them up to 67 or 68. So, but probably by the time Roustabout was made, he'd already signed for more.
Yeah, but you know, it always surprises me how, you know, it's always been a popular film, and of course, you know, the soundtrack album got to number one, which is great. Wasn't
That's right. That's right. It was his last one until 1973, Aloha from Hawaii.
That's it, yeah. But I think there's got to be 2 or 3 good, strong songs there that could have been good single releases, you know, as well.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a shame the album gets to number one, but doesn't get a number one single from the album, you know, which is quite strange as well. But it's a good film. I enjoyed it. It's one that I often watch. So.
Yeah, as you said, it's on. Well, and it used to be on television a lot, and that's because I think it was the BBC in England used to show it a lot. Obviously, it was one of the ones that they bought.
Yeah, we used to get 2 films on at once of Elvis at one time. Didn't
Brilliant.
Yeah, great.
Okay, thanks for calling in, Mark. All the best.
No problem.
Okay,
take care.
Cheers.
Bye.
And of course, as I said with Morgan as well, Mark is actually in the draw now. Anybody that rings in will go into the draw for this canvas. You can. I will ask people to ring in a few minutes, but I wanted to mention that Roustabout is notable for a very, very early performance or a very, very early appearance of this lady here. She's there in the audience. She's a college girl. She's in blue with the silver headband, and that is Raquel Welch. Okay. And there's another shot of her there at the left-hand side. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi, Steve. It's Duncan.
Oh, hi, Duncan. How are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Great. You're in the hat now to be in with a chance for that canvas.
It is an amazing canvas, isn't it?
It is.
It just it captures it so well.
It's very big as well. I showed it last week on the screen.
That's right.
It's about 2 foot high, I think, or more. I think.
My goodness, yeah. Roustabout.
Yeah.
I think I things are particularly strong soundtrack.
Yeah.
There's very few what you would call filler songs in there, which some of the movies had a few of. But there's so many good songs on there. Probably hard to choose my favourite.
Yeah, probably Carney Town is probably a bit of a filler, isn't it?
I would say that's a bit of a filler, yeah.
Yeah, but you're right about the rest of them, aren't?
But there's some really strong ones.
Yeah.
Really strong ones that don't sound like soundtrack songs. They sound like songs of that time in the 60s. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it's really uplifting. I mean, I particularly like Brand New Day on the Horizon.
Yeah.
It just cheers you up whenever you listen to it.
Exactly. But, it's definitely a happy ending, isn't it?
Absolutely. And what's interesting is with the cast that he's acting alongside, your Barbara Stanwyck's, your Leif Erikson's, the thing is, though, he clearly holds his own alongside that caliber of actors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's in no sense are they out acting him at all. and it feels a very real film. Perhaps, as you were saying earlier, something to do with the on-location shooting and taking a bit more care, not just going for the green screen option.
Yes, that's right.
But I think the character as well, Elvis comes over as very real in that part.
Yeah. It was
So,
probably
really
one
good
of the last good movies until sort of the late 60s again, wasn't it?
Yeah, until he had to kind of change a habit.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely. Love it, and really good soundtrack.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Thanks for calling
Great to
in.
talk to you, Steve.
You're in the pot for that canvas.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
All the best. Cheers.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
Okay, let me just have a look at this. Somebody wanted to send me something, and I just want to check to see if somebody's trying to come through. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, so as I say, it's also known for an early appearance of this lady here in blue with the silver headband. This is Raquel Welch in probably only her second movie, I think. And there she is again. So in case you didn't realize, next time you see Roustabout, that, yes, that indeed is Raquel Welch. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hello, Mr. Steve. It's BP Monkman.
Hey, Brian, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, keeping well. And you've rang in, so you're in the pot for this Elvis canvas. And what was I going to say to you? What do you want to speak about? Do you want to talk about Roustabout?
Roustabout, I think, was the last great movie of the mid-'60s until 1968 with Stay Away Joe, Change of Habit, and I think even, even though the movie didn't make sense, Live a Little, Love a Little.
Yeah. I think you're right about it being one of the last best good movies until the latter end of the 60s.
Yes. Change of Habit was the last great movie ever. I mean, like Dr. Elvis made a welcome change from Playboy Elvis. And I know that's coming up later, but just thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
And my favorite song from the movie, from Roustabout, I have like 3 favorite songs from that movie. One is It's Carnival Time.
Okay.
Second one is, Big Love, Big Heartache.
Very good.
And the third one I like is Hard Knocks.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, a good fast one.
Yes.
I mean, they're all good. Apart from I said to Duncan there, I thought the Carney Town was just a bit of a filler. But apart from that, I think they're all good songs. I had a hard time picking my song of the week this week, actually.
So he wanted the Jordanaires to sing backup on Wheels on My Heels.
Yes.
But they told him that, Elvis, you don't know where you'll be. This scene, you'll be riding on a motorcycle down the highway.
Yeah. That's right. And they said to him, where would the Jordanaires be? And he said the same place as the damn band is.
Yes, on the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Brian. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad I did.
Take care. You
too.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, right. So, next time you watch Roustabout, look out for Raquel Welch. So we're going to move to the poll to see what you voted as your favorite song from a Roustabout, and then we'll move on to Fan of the Month quiz. And after Fan of the Month quiz, if you want to ring in and tell me, talk about Roustabout and tell me why you think you should win the canvas and your name can go in the hat. Right, the poll, I put Roustabout, One Track Heart, Little Egypt, Hard Knocks, It's a Wonderful World, Big Love, Big Heartache. And Marcos Turchi says, one of my favourite Elvis movies, Hard Knocks and Little Egypt the best. And Roustabout, I think the alternative version, more accelerated, is better than they used on the soundtrack. Yeah, don't forget, I'm going to put a link below for I'm a Roustabout from the acetate that was released in 2003. John Rowley, Though the Roustabout album was #1 album in UK, it's not one of my favourites. But as been said by many fans, there is at least 2 or 3 good songs on each of the mid-60s soundtrack albums. My favourite without doubt is Big Love, Big Heartache, a beautiful ballad that Elvis sings calmly and so skillfully the way only Elvis could. Good comment, John. Karen Barlow, definitely Big Love, Big Heartache. The movie was such fun to watch. Dylan Bowen, There's a Brand New Day on the Horizon. Okay. Mrs. EAP Elaine, my favourite is Big Love, Big Heartache. Steve, Elvis sings like only he can. Rich, smooth, velvety voice. I enjoyed this film. Good story, good songs. Best wishes, Elaine. And Elaine says, I'm sending you a picture of Elvis from this film. Yeah, I actually have that, actually. There you go. That's a lovely shot of him. Taken just after filming the scene, I think, where he's knocked off the bike, by the looks of it. Darren Greenwood, A Brand New Day on the Horizon. Joy Lamanca says, so difficult to choose this time, Steve. Wonderful World is light and playful waltz. His baritone is so strong and full of volume. Such a joy to listen to. Elvis's voice was literally dancing with the orchestra that was present at the time of one of the takes. A wonderful song. But Big Love, Big Heartache is vocally a masterpiece where Charlie's work has finally fully paid off. Some pauses to breathe were extremely short. The vocal range needed to sing this song and hit every note with ease is what people expect from Frank Sinatra, but not Elvis. And this is why we need to spread his songs. He was such a great singer with an incredible voice. Couldn't agree more, Joy. Chris, hi Chris. Chris R. By the way, Chris, I tried to reply to your email, but it says your mailbox is full, so it bounced back. I'm going for Little Egypt, she says. I love how he sings it, and also Big Love, Big Heartache. I've not watched Roustabout for a good while. I have to get it out on DVD to watch. Danielle Carvalho says, I'm going to go for Hard Knocks and put There's a Brand New Day on the Horizon up there with it also. Anthony Kiola says, it was hard to decide, but I went for the classic Little Egypt. Vilma Morrow says, my first choice is One Track Heart and then Hard Knocks. Love these two. Mark Hutchins says, I choose Roustabout. It was a happy beat with a lovely voice of our friend. Yes. Sheila R. Kraft says, since I first saw the film when a very young girl, my favourite song from this is Big Love, Big Heartache, hands down. And Dolores Patrice says, I was torn between One Track Mind and Big Love, Big Heartache. But Big Love, Big Heartache won. So, that being said, what won the poll? Let's have a look. And I've got the Roustabout poll here. And as you can see, so close. Little Egypt, 33. Big Love, Big Heartache, 31. It's a Wonderful World, 22. Hard Knocks, Strange only got 9%. And One Track Heart, 5%. I'll let you know what I chose later, because I awarded my Song of the Week. And again, I will tell you that it's not Little Egypt. So again, I've gone against the majority on that one. Right, so if we are ready for Fan of the Month, what is it? It's general knowledge. It's not any of these name that song or things like that, or fill in the blanks. It's just general knowledge this week. But I will have song titles coming up again. And what I'm going to say is, Dave, if you're ready, and Maxine, if you're ready, they tell me who got the answer right first. And I'll just wait to make sure that Dave, Dynamic Dave, and Marvelous Maxine, or Magnificent Maxine, is ready. Angel Baby says, I went with Little Egypt myself. It's so unusual. Young and Beautiful with Jailhouse Rock. Judy always says that. Yeah, I'm aroused about the version that came out 20 years ago. Yeah, that's the one. I'm going to link that below as well, just in case people haven't heard it or haven't heard it for a while. Came out in 2003 on the Second to None. Right, Dave and Maxine is ready. Actually, this first question was actually supplied by Dave. Thanks, Dave. Question 1 says, it's on Charo. And it's the question is, Who was the role of Jess Wade originally offered to? And don't forget, if you get it right, you get this. Okay, so who's going to get the first? Okay. So I am watching very closely. Who was the role in Charo of Jess Wade originally offered to? Who do we think? Brian Roberts says Clint Eastwood, and that is who I've got written down on this sheet, Clint Eastwood. So I'll just wait for Maxine and Dave to confirm that. Well done, Brian. You get a... Wow, look at all these people now. Brian, Dolores, me, but I turned it down, says Ronald. Yeah. Yeah, I'm right with Brian Roberts. We can move on to the second question. This is quite an easy one. What was Elvis's 20th movie? Don't forget, after the Fan of the Month quiz, you can ring in and tell me why you think you should be in with a chance to win that beautiful canvas. What was Elvis's 20th movie? Very funny, Ronald. It was, yeah. No, it wasn't Spin Out. You get a... I figured Clint Eastwood was too obvious. Scare him? No. Speedway? No. Spin Out? No. Spin Out? No. Everybody saying that is getting a... Okay, it was Frankie and Johnny, and I've got Jeanette. So I will just make sure Dave and Maxine, because the answer is Frankie and Johnny. So Jeanette gets a... Yeah, Brian's got Frankie and Johnny as well. A lot of people saying Girl Happy and Spin Out and Charo. No, Charo was a lot further than 20. Roustabout. That's nice, Karen. Elvis Austin says, Tickle Me. Just waiting for confirmation. Frankie and Johnny. Who was the first person to say Frankie and Johnny? Dave says Jeanette. Great. Right, we'll go with Jeanette. Thank you very much. You're welcome, Jeanette. Oh, here's a bit of a tricky one to do with the Memphis Mafia. This is. What was Sonny West's real Christian name? Alrighty. Sonny was only sort of like a nickname. So, what was Sonny West's real Christian name? I think this might... I was just about to say, I think this might catch some people out, but Elvis Austin has put Delbert, and it was Delbert. So, Elvis Austin. Okay. Oh, look at all these Delberts now. There was me thinking it was a hard question. I think I'm going to have to make these harder. I really do. Something like, how many times did Elvis sneeze on September the 10th, 1966? Something like that. So anyway, Elvis Austin gets a... Yeah. Okie dokie. And on the same sort of topic, what was Red West's real Christian name? Okay, again, red because of his hair. If it was me, it would be Gray Francis. Red West. What was his real Christian name? Okay. Right, Norset says Robert, and that is quite correct. Okay, so no set 45. I just want to check with Dave and Maxine to make sure that they're seeing the same name first as me. Elvis sneezed 5.5 times on the 9th of the 10th, 1966. How do you sneeze half a time? Robert. Priscilla says Robert Jean. Well done, Priscilla. Yeah, no set. Great. So as I say, no set gets a... Question 5. Don't forget this Fan of the Month quiz. It does carry a prize at the end of the month. And we've only got one more week to go as well. How many shows did Elvis perform at Madison Square Garden in 1972? So it literally is just a number you have to type this time. How many shows did Elvis perform at Madison Square Garden, June 1972? By the way, I'm in the guest house, as you can see. This is the King Suite. Okay, Elvis Austin says 4, and it is actually 4. So well done, Elvis Austin. You get another one of these. Yeah, it was 4. 1 on the 9th, 2 on the 10th, a matinee and an evening, and then 1 on the 11th. So, but if you said anything other than 4, it's definitely a... Alina Mina says, or Elena Mina says 4. Yeah. Ed says 4. Paul, no, sorry, Paul. Hi, Paul. Good to see you. But, yeah, Ruth says nice suite. It is very comfortable. Very comfortable. Yeah, Brian says 4 as well. I think Elvis Austin got in there first, though. Yeah. Thanks to Dave and thanks to Maxine. One more question. What was the opening song of the show on the 10th? Okay, what song did he sing on the 10th? The opening. If you've listened to the live album, Elvis Live from Madison Square Garden, you'll know what it is. Banjo says he loves the trombone anyway. The sad trombone. Yeah. Boy, you must have been tired after that. Yeah, 4 shows. Yeah, in front of all those people. Okay. Bip Sharma. Hi, Bip. Says, that's all right, Mama. And that is quite correct. That's what it was. Bip Sharma. Okay, that's all right, Mama. No, it wasn't CC Ryder. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, Ruth saying that. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people saying that's all right. But Bip gets the... And that completes the quiz for this week. I'll just check to make sure that it was Bip, but I'm pretty sure it was. Johnny B. Good? No, it wasn't Johnny B. Good. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share these videos. And also, I know I keep saying, but you can actually support the channel by buying me a coffee using the link below. I love coffee, as you probably know. Elvis Austin again. Was it? Okay. Okay. Right. Well, funny, I got Bip Sharma. Sorry, Bip. I'm being told that it's Elvis Austin. I will double check that though, but I do have a lot of faith in my moderators, and they do a really good job. And they're telling me that it was Elvis Austin. So Elvis Austin did really, really well. So he gets a... Okay. Right. If you want to be in with a chance to win this stunning Elvis canvas, ring me now free on Instagram or Facebook Messenger and tell me what Elvis means to you and why you think you should win that canvas. I'm going to leave that canvas up there, actually. Hey, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan channel?
Hey, Steve.
Maxine, you're late on parade.
I know.
How's the leg?
Oh, it's much better now. Can
Good.
actually run a little bit better.
Great. So tell me, why? What does Elvis mean to you, and why do you think you should win this canvas?
I thought we had to talk about the movie.
You can do that as well. Now, just so everybody knows, the moderators are allowed to win this as well because their name just goes in the hat, and if their name comes out, their name comes out.
That's a hard one. I think just how he was as a person, what he did for people, what he did for charity, how much he loved his fans, and just the fact that he was never rude to his fans or people in general. Never refused an autograph, never got stroppy, no, exactly. never threw people's cameras on the ground to break them and things like that. We all know that people do that. Oh, yeah. So, right, okay. So you rang in and your name is in the hat. Oh, thank you.
Okay. So you want to talk about Roustabout?
Oh, it's a brilliant movie.
Yeah, you've probably seen it many times because it does appear on television quite often, actually.
Oh, it does, yeah.
And what do you think of, his overall character? What do you think of the songs?
The songs are really, really good, actually.
They are. It is quite a strong. It is quite a strong selection, yes, for 1964 anyway. Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You can see why the album got to #1.
Oh yeah.
And what is your favorite song from the movie?
Oh, I like all of them. I don't have a.
Yeah, I know. It's like trying to asking a parent to name their favorite child, isn't it?
Exactly.
If you had to pick one to put on the turntable now, what would you choose?
Oh, you really got me on that one. Little Egypt.
Yeah.
It's different and it's unique.
Yeah.
In its own kind of way.
Yeah, it is. It is an unusual song. It is an unusual song. Yeah, and a nice dancer as well to watch at the same time. For the men.
For the men, yeah.
Okay, right. Thanks for moderating again.
That's all right. Thank you.
Alrighty. Cheers.
All right. Bye. Bye.
So there you go. Maxine picked Little Egypt. She's in the pot as well for this lovely Elvis canvas. And don't worry, you've still got time to ring in today if you want to be in with a chance. We can do Elvis history as well while I'm waiting for more callers. Earl, here's Earl. Hang on a second. Hi, Earl. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Steve.
How are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Is this the first time you've called in? I think it might be.
No, I've called in not so often, but I have.
Yeah, it must be a few weeks then. My memory's failing me.
Yeah.
So do you?
Well, what Elvis means to me, is a very generous man who loved his fans.
Yeah.
And to this day, he's the most influential entertainer in the world.
Well put. Couldn't agree with you more. And why do you think... sorry, go on, yeah.
And Roustabout was one of my favorites. His movies aren't I'm not really a fan of his movies, but Roustabout really... I just enjoyed it. It was a feel-good movie for me. So I just enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how sort of poor some of the movies could have been, it was Elvis, and it was great just watching him, really, wasn't it? Sing and dance.
Yeah, I know. But some of them, Steve, were really not that good.
Oh, yeah.
But just seeing Elvis on screen.
Exactly.
Is what everybody wanted to see anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, even Elvis knew himself, and he admitted later on, all the money that they paid him, he couldn't have made him feel good about doing those movies. He just did them because he was contracted to do them.
Yeah.
But he made the best of them. He really did. And as I say, even the weakest movies were still good because Elvis was in them.
Yeah, and also he gave his all.
Yeah,
Even though he wasn't really into it, he decided, well, I have to do this movie, so I'm going to do my best, even though I'm not really into it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Earl, well, you're in the pot for this lovely canvas. Thank you very much for calling. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, Steve, and thanks for the lovely show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And take care of yourself.
Thanks, you too.
Cheers, Earl. Bye. Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. We've said it many times, haven't we? You know, the fact that Elvis was in these movies elevated them way beyond and above what they would normally have been. The fact that he was in them, singing, dancing, that smile, just everything about Elvis just elevated them above what they would have normally been. Anybody else wants to ring in and talk to me and tell me why they should win this beautiful canvas and what Elvis means to them? And if they want to talk about Roustabout as well, or any other Elvis topic, they can. We're going to do This Day in Elvis History. And it's obviously 23rd of January, 1956. Home in Memphis again. There were rehearsals with Elvis, Scotty, and Bill. I better remove that print for a second, shouldn't I? Here's another caller, folks. Hello, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hi, Steve. It's Priscilla. How are you?
Well, Priscilla, how are you keeping?
It's not Priscilla Presley, of course.
No, unfortunately, if only.
Sorry to disappoint everybody.
No, you haven't disappointed us. You haven't disappointed us. Now, what will we do first? Do you want to talk about Roustabout?
Okay, I'm going to say I'm a complete fraud when it comes to the Elvis movies.
All right.
I was never, I remember them as a child.
Yeah.
And I loved watching them. And I haven't really watched many of them since.
Okay. All right.
And there's a reason for that. And it's because I don't think they're a true representation of the human being that Elvis was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm reminded of a previous conversation I had with you, Steve, where we mentioned how influential it was. I think we were talking about the time what the highest Spotify artists were.
Oh, yes. Was it David Bowie or was it Elvis?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. And at the time, I remember saying to you and none of those artists would have existed without Elvis.
Correct.
None of them, because he paved the way for everything that has come since.
Mm-hmm. Still living.
Humility.
Yeah.
His genuine love for humans, his absolutely innate ability to perform anything, including some of these, lesser quality movies, and to elevate them to heights they could never have reached on their own. His cross-genre, country, rockabilly, rock and roll, gospel. No one has done what he did, and I don't think they'd even attempt it now.
Yeah.
Even though we have all these advances.
Yeah, I mean, his influence is still here today, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if we were to judge any of these movies, now let's put it this way. I'm going to preface this by saying, if you put a live moving Elvis on the screen for 2.5 hours, I'd sit and watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I don't think they were a true representation of the person he was or the ability he had. I think they were a financial. Don't get me wrong, I've watched plenty of them and have enjoyed them. I watched Viva Las Vegas on his birthday.
Yeah.
And I actually love my favorite Elvis movie, and this goes against it, is Charo.
Yeah, good movie. I know he didn't sing in it, but it was still a good movie. Showed his acting ability.
Yeah, he actually did. He showed tremendous acting ability. And he might have had no top on at some point. I didn't say that out loud now.
Somebody in the comments there is saying that he was considered for True Grit. That's true as well. And I think he would have... Glenn Campbell got the role in the end. But I think he would have been really, really good
would have been
with John Wayne.
In that role.
Yeah.
He would have. He actually would have been because what we forget, and because he got so badly lambasted for some of those, lesser quality movies that made lots of money. Let's face it. The reason they kept making them is it was, a workable format that made money. And at the end of the day, that's why they make any movie. But if he had been given the opportunity to fill some of the roles that he wanted to, or that he believed he was capable of, he had tremendous ability.
Yeah.
And I think that if we sometimes criticize some of those movies for whatever reason, I don't think they're a true representation of Elvis.
No.
His music has stood the test of time, and it will do for the next 50 years.
Oh, yeah.
And his ability to be a kind, caring, honest, loving human being who had his failings.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm tempted to say, let he who is without sin cast the first stone.
Yeah,
I have lots of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it would be unfair it would be unfair on Elvis himself to say he was perfect, because he knew he wasn't.
No, because do you remember that? I don't know what concert it was that he was at where someone shouted, "You're the king, you're the king."
Yeah.
And he said, No, there's only one king.
Correct, yeah.
And he believed that. He didn't say that he absolutely believed that. And his fate meant a lot to him. And I think, if you think of, I had a conversation with somebody recently because they keep going, why do you love him so much? And I went, if you put any of what we consider to be the top bands in the world now and gave them the schedule that he worked off when he was touring, he didn't just play one gig every other night. He played 2 and 3 a day.
Yeah, sometimes he did a matinee and an evening performance, and then he'd have to fly.
And a late night.
And then he'd have to fly, and then he'd have to, do the next one again. So no wonder he was exhausted.
Absolutely. And the other question, is where was he introduced initially to amphetamines? His army time.
That's right.
Yeah. So, there's lots of these things that I think there's a lot of fallacies about him. I think that while they're true, the way they're reported is not a true representation of how the situation panned out. I think even at the very last day, when if you watch any of the interviews with Charlie Hodge or Joe Esposito or any of the Memphis Mafia, they had said, Elvis, would you not take a break? Would you not? We go to Hawaii, we'll sort you out.
Yeah.
And he said, I will after this tour. Because he felt a loyalty and a responsibility to all the people whose livelihoods depended on him continuing to perform.
That's right. He knew he had a lot of people depended on him. Yeah.
So anyway, before I take up,
I was going to say actually something on a lighter note. I'm going to put it up on the screen. You like this Elvis canvas, don't you? You like it very, very much.
Love that Elvis canvas.
Can you imagine coming home, that being on your wall, and that's the first thing you see every night when you come home from work?
I actually showed it to my husband. I said, "Look at this. Look at the prizes," and he went, "That's not going up in our bedroom, is it?"
I don't believe you.
I said, "No, it's going on your pillow."
I like it. Well, you've rung in, and of course that means that your name is now in the pot to be pulled out, hopefully, for winning that.
Oh, fingers, toes.
Yes, definitely.
And well done to everybody, because do you know what? I think this show has been an amazing find for me, and to feel part of the extended Elvis family and to be constantly welcomed is a tremendous thing, and it's a wonderful experience to share.
That's very kind. Very kind. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy it. I really am.
I do, Steve, and that's the truth. And you know what? I think the amount of effort you put in is very much acknowledged by all of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, good night, Steve.
Okay, bye. Take care.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
That was a very kind comment. Thanks very much, Priscilla. I don't know what to say now. Right. Okay. 1958. Let me get back on track here. 1958, 23rd of January. Elvis re-recorded King Creole as the title track. for the picture from 8 till 11 p.m. He also worked on another movie song and rehearsed 2 songs for an upcoming RCA session. So he did King Creole, Young Dreams, another version of King Creole, My Wish Came True, Try Out, and Don't You Think It's Time. RCA were desperate to get Elvis into the recording studio before he was inducted, so RCA could be assured of a steady stream of new releases available during his 2-year tour of duty. 1963, this was the second day of a marathon recording sessions for Fun in Acapulco. I'm going to throw up a picture of Fun in Acapulco of more than 24 hours in 2 days. Soundtrack recordings went on from 1 p.m. to 3:50 a.m. Wow. Yeah, a lot of work in that. 1969, big day. American Sound in Memphis between 4 and 7 a.m. Elvis recorded 8 takes of Suspicious Minds. Producer Felton Jarvis decided on a premature fade out and fade back in near the end of the track. It became Elvis's 17th and last #1 single in the US. So as I say, there was Suspicious Minds, then he did a vocal overdub of Mama Like the Roses, Don't Cry Daddy, Wearing That Love Done Look, vocal replacement, You'll Think of Me, another vocal replacement, This Is a Story, vocal replacement, overdub for In the Ghetto, Long Black Limousine overdub, This Is the Story overdub from A Jack to a King, Rubbernecking, and Inherit the Wind. So that was a busy day from 4 p.m. to 7 a.m. Let's have a look here. I wanted to show you some shots of him with the Memphis Sound Boys, and then another one there with Roy Hamilton and George and Barbara Klein in January 1969. I just thought I'd show you that as well. 1973, signing an autograph for a fan in Las Vegas on January the 23rd, 1973. Look at this. Doesn't he look like a boss in that? Just that jacket, the hair, the cigarillo clamped between his mouth. Just a boss. That's what he looks like. Elvis sent a telegram of condolence to the recently widowed Lady Bird Johnson, former First Lady. And in 1976, he was on holiday in Aspen, Colorado. But I just wanted to... let's have a look here. Priscilla is a great lady, and what a great call. Ronald Holmes. Yes, I agree with you. JK, the mayor of Memphis. Okay. Jeanette says, yes, like a boss. So cool. Earl says, a mafia boss. He looks like my future husband. Mr. Cool. Yeah, they did call him boss, but he just looks like a boss in that picture. Fabulous picture. I think Michelle Elvis Lass posted that earlier on as well on her social media platforms, and I'd already got it up as well for tonight. But I thought, yeah, he just looks like an utter boss in that photograph. I'm going to do pick of the week before we do my song of the week, and what I'm going to say is that Chris R. art student sent me in one, so I'm going to show Chris's first, and it's some shots with the ladder suit from 1970. Again, some really cool shots there. So thanks for sending that in, Chris. By the way, if anybody wants to send me cold shower photographs or pics of the week or anything like that, they can send those in to me, and I'll go through them, and I'll pick ones that I think are really good and put them as pick of the week cold shower photograph. I've got to give you one from Roustabout as well, but let's just see if anybody's going to comment on this ladder suit. He looks pretty good there. I'm not too sure, Dave. Did Barbara Stanwyck make Roustabout before or during Big Valley TV series? It's probably at the same time, actually. Oh, hot shots of Elvis doing his thing. Nice. Yeah, great shots. And I'm going to show you one now from Roustabout. By the way, Mrs. EAP says, love that suit. Klevik says, the kind of boss I would like to have. That's this shot, isn't it? Where is it now? That one there. Like a boss. Looks awesome, and I love the red ladder suit. Yes, I know you do, Chris. Yeah, thanks for sending those in, by the way. A lot of people saying that they like the red ladder suit. He wore that in Vegas, and he sang a great version that night of Make the World Go Away when he was wearing the ladder suit. He's so lean in that suit. Yeah, very, very thin in 1970, Norset. Yeah. He was on top of his game, really, in 1970. Right, so the other pick of the week is from Roustabout, and it's this one here. I think Elvis looks particularly good in that, and a very, very nice shot of Joan Freeman as well. Now, the only thing I would say about that shot, you don't see it very often. It's from the publicity shots for... Joan Freeman is still with us in her 80s, but I don't know how to get a hold of her, and I'd love for Joan to come on the show. I really would. What I was going to say was you don't see that publicity shot used much, and the reason being is probably the shadow on Joan's face was probably the reason why it was rejected to be used in widely used. But I just liked it. I like the look and the smile on Joan's face, and I like the look on Elvis's face. So that is my pick of the week from Roustabout. And I am going to say my song of the week from Roustabout was written by Dolores Fuller, Lee Morris, and Sonny Hendricks. It was recorded at Radio Recorders Hollywood on Tuesday, March the 3rd in 1964 for the movie Roustabout. It was a mammoth session lasting 12 hours from 12:30 p.m. to midnight. As well as recording this song, Elvis and the band also completed recordings of One Track Heart, Roustabout, I'm a Roustabout, It's Carnival Time, Carney Town, There's a Brand New Day on the Horizon, Heels on My Wheels, a remake of Little Egypt, and Little Egypt movie version composite. Now, my song of the week from Roustabout is Big Love, Big Heartache. I just love his voice on it. I just love the way he sings the lines, your love, yes, your big love will be here to stay. It just is, his voice just, somebody said it earlier on, it's like velvet. It really is. So, Big Love, Big Heartache, my choice from the movie Roustabout. And I will put a link below for Big Love, Big Heartache so that you can watch it and enjoy it. They did 17 takes before Elvis was satisfied with the result, and it was this take that was used for record release. As I say, link below for Big Love, Big Heartache, and also link for I'm a Roustabout as well, in case you haven't heard that in a while. I'm sure you've heard it at least once because it was on Second to None, and it was when it finally surfaced in 2003. There was great excitement. I'm going to tell you that as far as the winner for the print is concerned, I'm going to let it run for another week. I'm going to give people a chance to ring in and talk to me again next week and tell me why they should win that print and what Elvis means to them. And I think giving people 2 weeks, 2 Sundays, chance to ring in, say hello, don't be shy, say hello and so forth, and then your name will go in the hat to be pulled out to win that lovely, at least 2 foot high. I think it's 2 foot by 18 inches, and a foot and a half wide. Beautiful, beautiful canvas. Steve, you can put the link for the entire movie for us on here. I could do, yeah, but you could probably just find it yourself by just typing full movie Roustabout. Thank you so much for joining in. It's great to be part of it all every Sunday. Thanks to all the great callers that called in, and they're in the hat for that lovely canvas. Next up is Girl Happy. That's next Sunday. Of course, this day in Elvis history, Elvis photo of the week, song of the week, another fan of the month quiz. And until next Sunday, please look after yourselves and take care.